I recently received the Easi-Scope Wireless Microscope from TTS. Here it is, and I think it's great. I love it. Now this is a handheld digital microscope that magnifies up to 43 times, which you can see on this little screen here. Or you can wirelessly connect to an iPad, laptop or a PC, which means you can share the images that you see here on a bigger screen or with a large group or whole class. Now I think the best way to really describe what this can do is by putting it in the hands of the very people it was designed for, which is my children and my kids in my class. So I got my tiny testing squad. To take a closer look, if you'll excuse the pun. So I gave my crew the Easi-Scopes to unbox. I said, right, have a look through the instructions if you want to. So after a couple of minutes, they looked for the instructions and they said, Mr. Hunt, can we just have a little play, see if we can figure it out ourselves? I said, of course you can, because as we know, we learn best through play. And within a couple of minutes, like they said they would be able to do, they knew how to use them and they were away. So then they picked the Easi-Scope up and they just had a look at what was in the room that we were in. So they were looking at different textures, materials, and really focusing using the little blue ring on the Easi-Scope. You turn it around, you can really focus. Here, a couple of my children looking at the fingerprints of one of my girls, and they were really blown away by how detailed they were, and they could see them on the little screen. They grabbed pillows and cushions and all different types of materials just to have a look, and they were quite surprised how some materials were actually lots of thread, and it looked really smooth when you look at them, but when you focus with the Easi-Scope, you can see a lot more detail. And they even had a go of looking at one of my girls' hair here, and they're quite surprised at the detail that they could see. And because the Easi-Scopes have a wireless compatibility, you can connect to an iPad, or you can beam it to a laptop or a PC for the whole class to see, or a smaller or larger group. Then a couple of the children are doing rocks and fossils as part of their current science topic. So we went back to class, we got those little sets that you can get, where you have the different types of rocks and different types of fossils all in one box, and we looked at the detail using the Easi-Scope, and they absolutely loved zooming in and having a real look at some of the things that they could see. Then we decided that we wanted to get outdoors and do some outdoor learning, and we thought, well, let's have a look at some leaves. Could we find any mini bugs? Could we find any different types of material, and really have a look using the Easi-Scope at some of the detail that we could see. And they absolutely loved this bit. They were buzzing around, they were looking at different things, they were looking at logs, they were looking at rocks, they were looking at leaves, they were looking at all different types of stuff, and they were enjoying it as well. Then when we got back into the classroom, we headed up to year 5-6. And the reason why we went there is because that's where the wonderful science coordinator, Mrs. Hopkinson, teaches. So my tiny testing squad explained to Mrs. Hopkinson that we got these new resources called the Easi-Scope, and how they're dead simple to use, how they would use them in reception, year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and how they'd use them in science lessons and all different types of lessons, and how they're dead simple to use, that even teachers could use them too. If you're interested in getting your own Easi-Scope for your class or your school, all you've got to do is follow the link in the description below.